Hello.
Hello.
Today is a day in August. We're actually almost the same date as the viewing number. This is the
Yes,
thing of time. We're
this
watching
this
The
is it.
Scorpion King.
Yeah, quite a tumultuous watch today.
Hmm.
Yeah, an irregular watch,
Yes.
I would say. It started that with we were going to it was going to be just a normal watch, but I think we had some kind of silent agreement that we absolutely dreaded having a regular normal watch.
Yes.
So in last second, we decided to watch the Italian dub of Scorpion King, and we made it.
You have that timestamp.
Yeah, we made it 36 minutes and 41 seconds into the Italian dub
Yeah.
of Scorpion
Let's
King.
let's paint a picture here.
Mm.
I think it's. I think we can use our
You
combined
you look you
storytelling
look so
prowess.
you look so traumatized.
Yeah, but I am a bit traumatized.
Yeah,
Uh, I called you because we had scheduled this.
yes.
We're recording this on a Tuesday,
Mm.
which
Uh,
is even makes it even weirder that we didn't watch our 20-second viewing on the 22nd because we were
yes.
sort of supposed to. But I was busy yesterday making a fanzine, and I tried to get a hold of you, and it took a little while for me to get a
Yes.
hold of you. And when I called you, I think you had, at least judging, like, okay, I'll give you my perspective. You gave off, I think, a historical low of energy.
Yes. I was very low energy. I've been I did a lot of reading today of very interesting topics that are not interesting at all of a scientific university nature. So I was rather uninterested in anything, but I knew we had to do
Yes.
Scorpion King. So I was basically, I was firmly parked in my lands, awaiting the missive for Scorpion King, watching. And when I got it, um, I, I was kind of thinking a bit that what if I don't answer? Like, what if I just pretend to? Sorry, I'm off doing something. I'm not
Hmm.
here. That's the thing. But then after about 10 minutes, I decided that, well, we have to watch the Scorpion King. Of
Yeah.
course, we have to watch the Scorpion King. So we did,
We
and
we
it was really
haven't
bad.
we haven't gotten to the part where we, push it for reasons, whatever reasons, push it so far that we either have to do, like, I don't know, a Sunday viewing and then a Tuesday
Mm,
viewing, which I think would be very horrible,
yes.
or that we like preload one. Because I could see that happening. That probably gonna at some point have to do two in 1 week.
Yeah, definitely. Especially when we consider the fact that we might have guests with more erratic schedules
Hmm.
that might
We were
demand.
supposed to have a guest on this week, or sort of. I
Yes.
think you and me
Well,
decided that we would have a guest, and then the
uh,
guest didn't want to.
yeah, or the guest was allegedly indisposed, but maybe it was a tactical retreat from the guest. We'll
Hmm.
see.
It sounded a lot to me like just a no, basically.
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. But maybe this guest is someone who you'll have to do repeat attacks
Yes.
on for
Uh,
for 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 desired results.
yeah.
But
So
yeah,
yeah, we were gonna watch it in Italian because you
yeah,
had it in Italian. I should say we've also bought it. Is this the
there it
first
is.
time you're
This
seeing this?
this is my first time seeing it at all.
It very bare bones edition, I have to say. Not even a reversible cover. But we now own. Of course, we've been watching it legally all this time,
Yes.
but now we own I guess you own.
Yeah, technically I own it because
You paid for it.
I have paid for it, but you have it.
Yes, I bought it and then you paid me
Yes,
for it because I
exactly.
didn't want to co-own it.
That's how it is.
But
But maybe maybe I'll gift it to you at the end of this as a memento.
maybe we'll frame it.
Yeah, I
We'll
was
see.
thinking something like that.
But basically, we've been talking about watching the movie in a different language. This has Japanese, which is great.
Yes,
That's not
yeah.
why we bought it. We want the
The
commentary.
commentary track, the Japanese is a bonus.
But we didn't have access to Japanese, so we
No,
watched it in Italian, and that was
it was really bad.
100% a mistake.
Yeah, it wasn't and we didn't watch the entire movie in Italian, which
No.
I think is very telling because we obviously we would do that sort of thing, but it was that bad. It was just so it's not, or it's not really that it was, or well, it was bad, but
Yeah.
it wasn't even funny bad because
No.
we are very good with funny bad, like this is so bad it becomes funny and so on. But this is there was no value in it at all.
Yeah.
There, it didn't elicit
Yeah.
any kind of laugh or funny anything. It was just low effort dubbing work. It did nothing fit anything. Italian isn't like a funny language to listen to.
No.
There's
Or it can be. I think
yeah,
Italian
it
can
wasn't
be
this
funny,
time,
but
so
it wasn't this time. And
no.
I think it being so bad, or well, I should say, we finding it bad, I think speaks is like a testament to how bad it has to be.
Yes.
Because we talked on on the podcast about how amazing anything new is.
Mm.
Any new discovery, any new spin, anything really. And watching it with someone else, seeing their reaction to the movie is
Yeah.
just makes it twice as good, even if they don't say anything. And watching it with an entirely new dubbed voice track elicited nothing but dread.
Yes.
And to me, I think I thought a little bit about this, and I think the the worst part of this dub was the fact that it felt like zero people had character.
Yes. Like I made a joke at the beginning, like I don't think I specified it like that, but whatever. But I made a joke like, would it be funny if this was all voiced by one guy?
Yeah, might
Because
as well have been.
the characters sounded so alike.
Yeah,
The only character that sounded a bit like it seemed to have any sort of don't want to say effort, but like armpit sounded a bit like armpit sounds
yeah,
like it sounded like he was trying to mimic
yeah.
how armpit sounds in English, but that was it.
That was it.
Everything else was too bad. We had a break as well. First time I think we've had a proper like break in the
Yeah.
watching, because
I
when
don't
we
know if
switched,
maybe one of us has taken a phone call one
yeah,
time. I
something
don't
like
know.
that.
Probably not though. This might be the
But
first time.
I don't think so, because it really felt uh, like it was a first time kind of thing, because you took a break to go to the store
Yeah.
and
I went and bought something to eat because I was feeling so horrible.
yeah,
And I also said we have to stop watching this in Italian. We have to stop.
yes,
We have to
yeah,
watch it in English again.
it was like one of those. All right, let's drop the bit. We can't watch this in
Yeah.
Italian. It's
Can't do it.
this is too much.
Can
So
you
yeah,
imagine if we decided to do this? If I had said, should we watch the Scorpion King 52 times in Italian? I think I would be dead at this point.
yes, I think so too. So that's that.
Yeah. As we took the break and I actually did some actual shopping. I didn't just buy snacks. I bought canned tomatoes, oat milk. What else did I buy?
I don't know what you bought.
Oh, I bought chamomile tea as well because I'm out of tea. I have a bunch of tea, but all the tea I have has caffeine in it, and I don't want that.
I don't want that.
But as I was heading, because I had to, I actually, I definitely took my time doing this. I think it took like 20 minutes, 25 minutes, because I also did. I recycled cans. Like I just like I gotta.
Please let the people know what
Yeah.
else you did.
But so I headed. I live pretty close to the store, and there's an election coming up in Sweden. Pretty big election, the election you could say. And I was met by a lady outside the store. She was like 50 maybe, and she went hi, and I said hi, and then she started saying things like, "Oh, have you thought about how your election?" Da, da, da. And I just looked at her. I didn't say anything, and I looked at her until she stopped talking, and she said, and then she went back, and then I went and did my recycling.
Poor lady.
Fuck that lady.
I was gonna say, I thought you were going to say that she said, "Have you thought about what happens after you die?" as we have experience with.
Well, I think I would have reacted less um, socio- sociopath
Yeah,
style to that. But like,
maybe
who
so.
I vote for is none of her fucking business.
But maybe she was the prime minister.
No, I know how the prime minister looks.
Oh,
So
okay.
maybe it was some sort of Conan sketch where the prime minister goes undercover
It's
as
no, yeah, it's like one of those really horrible, like Gordon Ramsay,
yeah,
in disguise, and it's like everybody knows it's because he
yeah,
just looks like a
exactly.
goblin, whatever.
Yeah, so I did that.
Speaking of goblins,
Yeah,
we decided we're gonna do something a bit out there
I
for
don't
the
think
for
it's
the
out
for this.
there. I think we have control over our lives.
Yes, exactly.
So we've been, I guess we've been playing Heroes of Might and Magic.
Yes.
In the grand tradition of doing things that take a lot of time, we've been playing Heroes of Might and Magic.
Yes.
And we've been talking about the factions, and we talked a bit about the factions in Heroes 3 during the watching of this movie. And then I just said we should just do a tier list of the towns.
Yes, of course we should do a tier list of the towns in Here's My Magic 3.
So here we are. Here we are.
I feel this is really like one of those, the great debate kind of things.
Yeah. I wonder if our opinions will align here, actually.
Yeah, and in case there's any, dunces in the crowd, this is not a, power tier list or like which one is this is which one is the best, and or like that sort of thing. Well, I mean the tiers will be clearly marked out here, as everyone can see. They are S, A, B, and mid.
S, A, B, mid, trash. Okay, I think we can start with one that you and me will agree on.
Yes.
I think so. Conflux is trash.
Yes, Conflux is trash.
And
nobody likes Conflux.
Yeah, and Necro SS.
Yes, this can be the framework for the rest of the list. Should we start with why Conflux is trash?
Yeah, I think we talked about this not on the podcast, but we talked about because you and me both have long history with Heroes 3 as kids, but not a long history with Conflux. Conflux sort of existed for a very short time in both our lives. I think Conflux looks like a trash mod. It looks like it's like a clown shoes faction.
It really looks like or rather, this is how I see Conflux. I can buy that Conflux is in the setting. I can buy that it exists in that manner, but as far as being in the game and like mechanically and stuff, it's boring. It's cheap because it's there's only 3, I think, new original units in Conflux. The rest are the previously neutral elementals who have been given an upgraded version should be noted, but those are still just it's
Yeah.
like oh, we painted the fire elemental
I think it's
blue
worth
or
noting as
whatever.
well, because and I think this goes for technically goes for a lot of units in Heroes 3,
Mm,
if I'm being honest. But lots of the returning units in Heroes 3 are less cool than they're not peak versions of themselves.
no, absolutely not.
And to me, ostensibly the only cool unit, and I say cool
Mm,
in sort of quotation here, or citation marks, I guess, but is the Phoenix. And the
yeah.
Phoenix is fucking whack in Heroes 3.
Yes,
In
it's
Heroes
not good.
1, it's a weird chicken looking thing.
Yeah, in Heroes One, it's it looks so stupid that it
Yeah.
becomes cool.
Yeah, it's like
You
the
know,
dragon.
exactly. Like the dragon looks super goofy in Heroes One, but it's cool because it looks
Yeah.
so goofy.
And the dragon in Heroes 3 isn't that cool, but at least it's
Mm,
like a dragon and not a
yeah,
weird, like, yeah. And also, J.K. Rowling and the Harry Potter franchise has sort of co opted phoenixes, I think. Phenai.
yeah.
And that's not good.
No, it's not good. But yeah, but generally, Conflux is pretty trash. I don't like the heroes of Conflux either. I don't like that all of the might heroes are just fire elementals,
Yeah.
uh, and elementalist is just like a dude in a blue cape. Looks dumb.
Yeah.
Uh,
Necro is the coolest because
yeah,
skeletons are a rule. They rule. Skeletons are sick.
Necro is, it's really cool. All the units look good. Sound good, town screen amazing, music amazing, heroes very cool and good. They all have a cool and distinct flavor. Necromancy is based. Um, I don't know what more
I
can be
really
said.
like the idea of the skeleton
Yeah,
recycler.
exactly. The skeleton transformer really cool and good. I like the I've always liked the building for the bone dragon in the
Mm.
necromancer because it's this weird like giant gate thing or whatever. You can barely even tell what it is, but it gives
Mm.
the feeling of a mysterious structure that isn't just it's a weird pyramid or whatever.
Yeah. I don't like
Kind of like
bone
it.
dragons though. I think bone dragons and ghost dragons are fucking weak. But
Yeah, but
whatever. That's
but
life.
that I feel like that's a bit of a it's a bit of a I think they didn't really know what they were going to do as the top tier unit
Mm.
for necromancer, so they just made it it's an undead version of
Yeah.
another top tier unit.
It is what it is.
Yeah. All right, let's get on with it. So should we go by tier or should we just go by town and then put them somewhere?
Let's just go. We'll go from right to left. So let's do
Yeah.
tower.
All right, tower. We talked a bit about tower recently
Yes.
in these lands. Specifically, this is a bit topical then because we just talked about necromancer, but I remember we talked about how tower, or this might have been left unsaid, but I was thinking it that tower is just necros or a necromancer under another veil or whatever, because the tower has a lot of they have gargoyles, golems, that sort of thing that they have created or like animated, but they are like basically how necromancy at its core is I want to have slaves that do things for me, and so on. But that's also what tower is doing, and it could kind of turn into a you know uh, in my opinion, when you create a golem, that's just a magical thing. Like that's just a magical being that doesn't really have a personality or
Mm.
anything. But when you reanimate a skeleton, there is always a trace of the soul left, or like that sort of thing that
Mm.
helps the reanimation, and it's easier. Necromancy is easier
Yeah. Yeah.
than
Yeah.
making a
Absolutely.
golem. And that's like also part of why it's more morally apprehensible to conduct necromancy and that sort of thing. So So yeah, but never mind all that. When it comes to tower, I think tower is pretty cool aesthetically. I think it looks good, like the town and that sort of thing. I like that everything is a tower. like even the castle is just a collection of towers. Units. I don't know. What do you think about the units? Tower.
I don't think the tower is super cool. I think tower is cool in like a theoretical fashion, but I think the gremlins are trash. I think the gargoyles look like shit. I hate the
The gargoyles
golems.
are. The gargoyles look like weird. They look like some kind of gardening, like bush scissor thing or
Yeah,
whatever in the face.
and I
It's
also
weird.
think titans are way cooler in Heroes of Mathematic 2.
Yeah.
So, but I think that like the biggest thing here is that I've sort of broached. That's not the right thing because that means I would have talked about it already. I've breached a theory in my head
Oh.
pretty recently, which drastically reduces the coolness of tower, which is that the tower, as you say, they are like obviously super magicians, right?
Mm.
They do. They study the
They
arcane
do super
arts.
super magic.
Yeah, and they have all these constructs that sort of serve them.
Build all their towers for them.
Yeah, and the I don't know what the fuck is their nagas, you know?
Yeah, Nagas.
Maybe they are called nagas actually.
Yeah, they are not Naga and
Uh,
Naga Queen.
yeah, yeah. I just realized that the tower faction is just a bunch of like anime nerds, and that they
Mm.
hire the nagas is because they like boobies.
It's a bit interesting when you think about the Nagas because the Nagas feel like they wouldn't really thrive in a
Yeah.
tower
What the
because
fuck do they
they
get?
don't have any legs.
I think a snake can go upstairs though.
Yeah, but they might not be very comfortable to
It's
go
not.
upstairs all the time.
Well, we don't know. Maybe they
No,
have ramps.
maybe going up and down stairs for a snake like creature is like slinkies or whatever they're called.
Yeah, I'd
Just
probably put tower in like B maybe.
yeah.
But
Well, we can see where it ends up.
yeah,
We can put
I'll
it in
put it
B.
there. Stronghold.
Stronghold came up during the
Yeah,
watch.
I think Stronghold is trash.
Yes,
I'd put it in trash tier.
yes. Stronghold. It's not very cool. It's not very interesting. It's a extreme downgrade from Here's Mathematic 2 and Here's Mathematic
Yeah,
1 Barbarian factions as well. Here's Mathematic 2 Barbarian Town is amazing. It looks perfect. But Stronghold, it's weak that it's basically just orcs and then one or two weird animals and a
yeah,
cyclops instead of being like this big cauldron of weirdos that have banded together in one faction,
yeah. I like the
which is kind of
rocks
feel.
though.
Yeah, yeah,
They're
yeah.
cool verbs, and I
It
like the
it
building to build the rocks. It looks like a
it
fascist monument.
what? But I was gonna say how in Heroes 2 you got the rocks in the wizard
Yeah,
faction, and that feels more of a like ah, it's no, it's like in Lord of the Rings. You have the wizard and the eagle,
mm.
like that sort of thing. I always felt like. While in this town, it's like the rock is just the rock. I don't want to say the rock. That feels bad. The rocks are just there, and it's like, oh well, are they? Why are they hanging out in the stronghold? Are they domesticated? Are they like that sort of thing? While in the wizard
Yeah,
faction, it feels like they are allies of the wizards.
exactly. They seem
So
of less intelligence in Stronghold.
exactly,
Ramparts, I'd put it
and
in trash.
I was gonna say the behemoth is pretty whack.
Yeah,
Also,
I hate the behemoth,
yeah, uh, ramparts.
but
I,
I might be
I,
swayed
I, I,
on.
I would not put it in trash. I would put it in mid in that sense because I like the dwarfs in the ramparts.
I don't like the dwarves.
I like how they walk. I think they have a good walk
I think they are
animation.
poor dwarves. I don't
Really?
like it. I think they look like a Scottish person.
You don't like the what's called the master dwarf?
No,
Uh,
there's
oh,
something about
okay.
their proportions and the fact that they have hammers, and they just
Why can't the dwarf have a hammer?
I don't know. I just don't like how they look. Let me.
Well, okay.
I might be swayed on this, but
Now you remove the list.
yeah, I
Can't see
know.
it.
I'm looking for a
But I
dwarf.
can't. Oh yeah, battle dwarf, not master
Look
dwarf.
at the fucking hammer. Look at him.
I
You
don't
think
know.
these guys are cool?
Well, I mean, it's not the coolest dwarf I've ever seen. I mean,
I also hate the triple spike on the head.
I don't know. I think they're fine.
Dwarf fan art. Is this you? Did you make this?
Me? Oh yeah, there it is. Yeah, I drew this. That's the hammer is pretty cool.
But the hammer is that big,
Yeah.
almost. I
Well,
don't know. Well, okay.
if you feel that strongly about it, we can put Rampart in trash. That's
well, give me more than that.
how do you feel about the Dendroids?
Not a fan.
Okay, how do you feel about the Pegasi?
Definitely not a fan.
What
I
about
think my favorite unit, because I hate the dragons as well.
Yeah.
Mostly because they're fussy. They look like what's his face, Ongro Bongro from Neverending Story. What's his name?
Do you mean Falco?
Yeah, I have. I think I have.
Or no, Falcor, something like that.
I think I have a Falcor here. But I think they remind me of Falcor, and I don't like Falcor. Look, there's a Falcor. Ah.
Yeah, there he is.
I think I like the unupgraded centaurs the most.
That's a pretty bad look. It's interesting how the centaurs move from warlock to ramparts as well. I feel like
maybe they were enslaved.
Yeah, I guess.
But I think also for me, I dislike how the ramparts looks nothing like. It doesn't even look like a town. It doesn't look like a fortress. It doesn't look like a like a castle.
What do you feel about like how ramparts is obviously supposed to be like this like the fairy tale Scottish / Irish Celtic thing, but everything has like Japanese architecture.
Yeah, it's weird.
It doesn't really mix that well. That was something I never thought about as a kid, but
maybe we put Stronghold in mid and Ramparts in trash.
Okay,
wait. Do you like Rampart more than Stronghold? Because I dislike both. I think you have the call here. You're the swaying vote. Is it better or worse than Stronghold?
Yeah, I would probably play Ramparts over Stronghold.
Well, okay, put it in mid.
If it was between those. All right, let's move on.
Inferno.
Let's take Inferno. Inferno is a hotly debated faction, I think, in the Outer Lands. You're just gonna put everything in trash. Well,
I don't know. How do you feel about Inferno?
Well,
I like the imps.
Yeah, the imps are pretty base.
Great.
I haven't really played a lot of Inferno, but mostly because they're bad. And whenever you play Inferno, you mostly feel like you would have more fun playing as something else.
Yeah.
And the units are pretty boring and unfun. And
I don't like the aesthetic of Inferno either.
Yeah, but it's like this also, that a lot of factions, you kind of what you start feeling like when you get to like tier 2, tier 3 of units, it's like, here we go, now we're gonna get some kind of ball rolling. But with Inferno, you just have imps that are just bad, and then you get the gogs and the magogs, which just kill your fucking imps as well. So it's just by the time you get the dogs, you're just like, I'm gonna play something else.
Yeah. I think they're very. They seem to me to be so straight up as well. Like,
Yeah,
what if we made hell a faction?
exactly.
That's it.
Well,
They have good music. I like the music.
I don't really mind the whole, what if we made hell a faction, because I kind of like that about the setting in Heroes of Might and Magic, how hell is just a country somewhere, and demons live there. It's pretty funny to me.
Sure,
But
but I
yeah,
don't think that comes across.
no, that's my headcanon.
I'd probably put it right next to Conflux if I'm honest.
Okay, but all right. How do you feel about? I'll give you one actually. The Ifrit are whack. They are not cool compared to a genie.
Yeah,
But how do you feel about the devils?
I think they are trash. I hate the arch devils as well.
Really, you don't like the
No,
teleporting?
I don't. I don't like just a red guy. I think a red guy is weak.
Okay. Well, yeah, well, sure. Do you think they're better
Okay,
or
I
worse
put it
than
like this. I
ramparts?
would never pick Inferno ever.
Yeah. So but that means it's worse than ramparts, so it should be in trash.
Yeah.
All right. Well, let's put it. What do you feel? How do you feel about? We never talked about the ramparts heroes, by the way. But well, ranger and druid, pretty boring, I
Yeah.
guess.
I don't think I have that much to say about it. I don't like how we'll get to this when we talk about
Yeah.
dungeon, but I don't like how there's like no clear dichotomy for me in terms of themes in what the heroes are.
Yeah.
It's just like what
Yeah.
ranger and druid, they're the same guy.
Yeah. I really feel like since because I mean obviously it's you got the might hero and the magic hero. I liked it better when it was just one hero, and it was like the warlock is warlock.
Yeah.
That's the only hero that warlocks have and that sort of thing. But it feels like in Heroes 3 they kind of made oh, we made the knight and then we made the cleric, I guess. So you have like one might, one magic, and then they had to keep that formula for everything.
Yeah.
And for a lot of them, it just becomes pretty dumb because, like with Tower, didn't talk about that here either. But in Tower, you have the wizard, obvious, of course, the wizard is the magic hero, and you have alchemist.
Yeah.
And it's like, and why is the alchemist such a good warrior? I
Maybe
get that
they drank a bunch of potions.
and yeah, but I mean, I don't like it.
You
And
don't know
because
about alchemy.
in the setting, it's like the alchemists are the ones who make all the golems and stuff. So doesn't the wizard make the golems?
I said you don't know anything about alchemy, but you're technically
Yes, but I let that
studying to
slide
become
because
a chemist, right?
yes, because
So
I'm merciful of all your obvious faults.
yeah. Okay, dungeon.
Yeah, dungeon. Very good. Dungeon is great. Not as cool as Necro, but
No.
probably the second coolest in the game.
Yeah, I wonder if it's maybe. Well, it can be an A for now.
We talked a lot about what we like with dungeon during the watch. Maybe we should start with what we don't like about dungeon.
I hate the manticore.
The manticore, yeah.
And what's it called? Scorpanoid or whatever the fuck the upgrade is called.
Scorpicore. Well, I think we hate everything that has to do with scorps. So, but yeah, I don't know. There's not a lot I dislike about that. I think it's a very good, well, obviously everything in Heroes is very high fantasy by default, but it feels like a very good, fantasy town, or rather gathering of weird creatures and stuff. The heroes are the best. Overlord and Warlock, extremely good. Very very easy to connect. The Overlord is the might hero because it's like as I said, the Death Adder style sword and sorcery Overlord, and the Warlock is just a Warlock.
I like the fact that they're minotaurs.
Yes.
I think that's cool.
Yeah. I actually haven't said that a lot, but or others said that yet, but it's cool in Heroes 3 how heroes start to be, units from their faction,
Yeah.
which isn't really a thing that
No,
before
they're
Heroes
sort
3.
of people before that.
Yeah, so that's cool.
Yeah. Well, I'll put it in A for now. Castle. What is it called? Is it
I
Castle?
think it's just Castle. You had a lot to say about Castle the other day. Well, when you probably forgot about it, but
Yeah.
you compared it to Roman, like how it's interesting how it had a Roman aesthetic to it when it came to like the angels
Oh
and
yeah, I
whatever.
talked about the angels, right? Yeah, I don't know if I have that much to say about it. I think it's all right. I think it's cohesive and all right, and I think it works as a sort of bog standard faction.
Yeah, like
Maybe,
the human
yeah,
faction.
and but I think pretty much every unit has less character than it has
Mm.
in earlier games.
Yeah, it's a lot. We said when we played Heroes Mighty Magic 1, or rather you said at some point that it's based how the human like the castle faction is like it's just the same guy, a variation on the same guy,
Yeah.
with all that stuff, mainly I guess in terms of how the sprites look and that sort of thing. But in Heroes 3 it's a lot more like there's not a lot of variety, which I guess is part of the idea behind the faction. Like there's no monsters except for the Griffin
Mm.
and well, the Angel, I guess, if you want to be like that. Uh,
One thing that
how
bothers me about the angel is that I think the archangel. Okay, so like theory here.
mm,
Something that is supposed to be angelic and powerful, the more you armor it, the less big deal it looks like.
yeah,
Like if you had the Archangel from Heroes 3, and if we made like I don't know, we made Constantine 2 starring Keanu Reeves, and the movie opens with there was a climactic battle between angels and devils, and you have 4,000 archangels
mm,
fighting 4,000 devils. And then it says like, and on the 18th day, God sent his most powerful,
yeah,
and
I
Michael
get.
appeared, and then it's a regular
Yeah, that's
angel.
the regular Angel.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
to me it feels reversed.
yeah, like the regular Angel looks more powerful,
Yeah.
or looks more angelic,
The fact that it isn't,
divine,
yeah,
I should say.
exactly. It looks like it doesn't need armor.
Exactly.
It has
Yeah,
the
I
word
can
of
buy that.
God.
It's interesting. Like I remember thinking like when I was younger as well that it's interesting how the angel and the archangel are not the same guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Like but with a lot of units, it's just the same guy, but they get armor or another weapon or more
Yeah.
stuff on them,
Or
that sort of thing.
at the like harshest, they like change color.
Exactly. So yeah, that's something. I never really liked the cleric as
No.
a hero type either. I thought it was like weird how you have the knight and then you have the cleric. Like what does the because a lot of how the clerics are presented, like in portraits and that sort of thing, they're just monks. Like they're the monk unit
Yeah.
most of the time, and it doesn't really fit. Like I don't know. I don't like it. I don't need to have a
Yeah.
reason.
Maybe we'll put it top of mid.
How do you feel about speaking of monks? What do you feel about the monks and the zealot unit?
I think they look evil.
Yeah, especially like the upgraded one with the glowing.
Yeah.
They look like yeah, they look like a warlock or something,
Yeah.
something like that.
But I like how the town screen looks. I'll give
Yeah,
it that.
absolutely.
Okay. Fortress.
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely put it up with dungeon. Uh, Fortress, very very cool town screen. Looks very good. The fortress itself uh, looks very good, and as far as this is a bit of a weird comparison, I guess, but like as far as the towns that are named after their pivotal structure, so to say. So you have like ramparts, stronghold, tower,
Yeah.
castle, and dungeon and fortress. So most of them. Well, I guess necropolis as well. But I feel like the fortress, you really feel like this is what's outside the fortress is something that has grown outside the
Yeah,
fortress. These
exactly.
dwellings have popped up, but this fortress has always been here. Like it's an ancient fortress that nobody can assail and that sort of thing. So it's really cool. I know a lot of people don't like fortress, but they're wrong and
Yeah.
dumb. I think it's cool to have a faction which is like, oh, they're not the best at magic and they're not the best at fighting. So what are they good at? They're good at not dying,
Yeah,
like that's
exactly.
that sort of thing, and how they're very defense focused because high defense is the most annoying thing in the
Yeah.
world in
It's
this game.
cool that they're lizards and gnolls.
Exactly.
And I like that they're lizards and gnolls. Like, they're technically like they're like furries and scalies, but they absolutely do not read like furries and
Yeah,
scalies.
they were
Uh,
made before
yeah.
those things
It's like
existed.
a believable version of anthropomorphized animals,
Absolutely.
which I think is cool. And they sort of, I think they look ruthless but not evil, which I also like.
Yeah, they look like how should I put it? They look like a neutral faction that nobody fucks with, like
Yeah.
kind of thing. Like it's somewhat reminiscent of Lizardmen in Warhammer, that sort of thing. Like are they good or evil? They would definitely say that they're good, but they're kind of fucked up, like that
Mm.
sort of thing.
I wonder if that's the list. I think that's the list.
Yeah. How do you feel about the order within the tiers?
I think it's fine.
Yeah. Conflux definitely at the very bottom.
Yeah.
No
Might as
question
well
about
not
that.
exist. Could take it off the list, to be honest.
Yeah. Inferno, that's fine. Yeah. No, I think this might be it. I was thinking a bit about Castle versus Ramparts, but I think I would definitely play Castle over Ramparts
Yeah.
as well. So
Screenshot that shit. Boom. Do we have anything? I suppose we're watching it. We're watching the commentary next time.
yeah, I feel like it's time. It would be weird to sit on that for too long,
Yeah, we
I
have
think.
two commentary tracks as well. We
Yeah.
have the feature commentary with the director Chuck Russell, and the feature commentary with The Rock.
Mm. Yeah, I say it feels a bit like we kind of need to get on with it if we're gonna make it through all of those because I feel like the Blu-ray gave us like at least like 7 kinds of gimmicks.
I don't know about that. Maybe 4.
Yeah, but 4 and
but
7 is basically the same number.
but I wonder if we should pick a commentary track, do it maybe next time,
Yeah,
and then we'll do the other commentary track on
at a
the
later time.
flipped end of this. So at like
Yes.
44, 46.
Yeah, so we don't go commentary track into commentary track.
Yeah, exactly. And we could always watch these extra features for more knowledge on the Scorpion King. You can also watch, it says right here, you can watch Scorpion King with Scorpion King content picture in picture.
Wow.
So you can like double up on your scorpioning.
I definitely feel starved for Scorpion King content.
Definitely. I think that's probably it for now.
Yeah, I think it's all over. What do you think people should how should they approach the Scorpion King? Should they?
They should approach the Scorpion King very slowly, contemplatively, and with like a nagging thought in the back of your head. And if you think, what is that thought? Then the answer should be do not watch the movie.
Absolutely. Do not watch it.